When the Galactic Council declared the first law, the entire galaxy understood its weight. No species, no empire, no fleet, and no ruler would ever raise arms against the children of Earth. The law was not written in treaties or agreements. It was written in memory, in fear, in the ancient scars of those who once tested humanity's patience and paid the price. For centuries, the Council enforced it strictly. Human colonies were few but sacred. Every ship carrying the blue insignia of Earth was untouchable. Every child born of human lineage was considered protected by unspoken divine right until the Council broke its own law. It began on the colony world of Aurealis III, a calm and fertile moon orbiting a gas giant in the edge of the rim. The planet was home to 2,000 human families and a small research outpost studying local flora. For years they lived in peace. Trade routes passed by without interference. Then came the Korth Dominion, proud members of the Council, who saw the world as a strategic node in their growing expansion. The Dominion fleet entered orbit under false diplomatic clearance. Their ships bore Council banners claiming to inspect atmospheric data stations. But when their troop carriers descended, the skies turned red with plasma trails. Commander Ellis of the human garrison sent emergency transmissions across the void. "This is Aurealis III under attack by Council ships. Civilian population targeted. Repeat, targeted." The signal reached the Sol command network 17 minutes later. Within an hour, every human listening post and outpost in the sector came alive. Alarms echoed through distant star systems. The first law had been broken. The Galactic Council met in their grand chamber orbiting Theta Prime. Representatives from hundreds of species filled the massive dome, speaking in a storm of languages. Holoscreens glimmered with fragments of battle reports. Councillor Veer of the Korth Dominion stood defiant. The humans overreached. Their colony was illegal. Our forces merely reclaimed what was ours. The chamber fell silent. From the center of the hall, the appointed human envoy, Ambassador Keller, rose. His expression was calm, voice steady. "The first law exists for a reason. It was not made to protect humans. It was made to protect everyone else." A whisper rippled through the crowd. The meaning of his words was old, but its truth remained alive. Millennia ago, before the Council was formed, the galaxy had underestimated Earth. Humanity was new, brash, and unpredictable. They spoke of peace but built ships of war. They laughed while facing extinction and turned every defeat into a lesson. When alien powers once destroyed Earth's first colony, the retaliation that followed erased 3 stellar empires within a decade. Since then, the law was made, not out of mercy, but out of survival. But the Dominion had forgotten, and humanity never forgot anything. In the Sol system, the message arrived at the central command of the Terran Defense Nexus. Admiral Rowain watched the footage from Aurealis III. Burning settlements, civilian transport shattered, distress beacons fading into static. He stood still for a long time, then said quietly, "Transmit to all fleet cores. Code Iron Resolve." Across 1,000 human systems, buried war machines awakened. Dormant shipyards opened like steel flowers. Drones assembled strike groups in silent precision. No speeches, no declarations, only motion. Humanity did not announce vengeance. They prepared it. The galaxy's sensors soon detected massive energy spikes near Sol. Fleets shifted uneasily. Traders whispered that the humans were moving. The Council convened an emergency session. Councillor Veer sneered. "Are we to believe they will challenge the Council itself over a single moon? Let them bark. We hold the numbers. We hold the stars." But Ambassador Keller did not attend that meeting. His seat was empty, and the humans had gone silent. 17 days later, the Dominion's border outpost at Far Reach vanished from sensors. Its last message reported a blinding light, then nothing. Hours later, 2 more stations disappeared. The Dominion demanded answers, but none came. The first human fleet appeared without warning near the Korth home system. A formation of black ships, their hulls reflecting no light, their drive signatures unreadable. They moved with unity that no alien armada had ever achieved. The Korth command scrambled every ship they had. Thousands of vessels formed defensive lines. Yet when the human ships opened fire, silence replaced the void. No radio, no energy pulse, no sound. Just pure destruction. Beams invisible to known sensors carved through shields like mist. Entire cruisers disintegrated before they could fire. Admiral Roan stood on the bridge of the battleship Resolute, watching tactical data unfold. No negotiation, he ordered. No broadcast. They knew the law, and the fleet advanced. News of the assault reached the council within hours. Panic swept through the chamber. Some called for restraint, others demanded retaliation, but no one volunteered to fight. The council's high chancellor, an elder being of crystalline form, finally spoke. We must send envoys. We must explain. But there was no one to explain to. Human fleets had already cut communication lines. Their ships bypassed entire defense networks as if they knew every weakness. And they did. The humans had designed half of the council's system centuries ago. When the first human fleet entered the council's core sectors, it did not bombard. It simply transmitted one line to every known frequency. The first law was broken, then silence again. On the colony remains of Aurealis III, survivors were found days later by human rescue teams. Among them was a young boy, maybe 10 years old, clutching a burned flag of Earth. The medics took him aboard, scanning the skies for remaining hostiles. When Admiral Roan saw the boy's image, he simply nodded. This is why we act, he said. They struck the Offspring. The galaxy remembers what that means. In the following weeks, Dominion fleets fell one after another. Worlds surrendered before a single shot was fired. The humans did not occupy. They erased the military infrastructure, dismantled planetary shields, and withdrew. Their message was not conquest. It was correction. For every child lost on Aurealis III, one Dominion command world burned, not through cruelty but through absolute calculation. The Council attempted to intervene, sending their combined fleet to negotiate. Yet when they entered human space, they were met by thousands of defense drones blocking the route. The drones did not attack. They merely transmitted coordinates and a warning. Stand down. You are entering Terran jurisdiction. The Council fleet hesitated. The commanders debated, uncertain whether to proceed. Then the space ahead of them rippled and a human dreadnought appeared, vast as a small moon. Its hull bore one phrase engraved in white letters. Remember the law. The alien admirals retreated without firing a single shot. Meanwhile, across the galaxy, citizens of other races watched in disbelief. News networks replayed the images of human fleets moving with precision never seen before. Analysts tried to predict their next move. Some feared they would strike the Council itself. Others believed they would vanish once vengeance was served. In truth, the humans did neither. After the Dominion surrender, the fleets halted. A final transmission was sent to the Galactic Council. From the central ship Resolute, Admiral Roan's voice filled every communication channel. This is not war. This is remembrance. You made the law to prevent chaos. You broke it. Now you will remember why it was made. Then one by one, the human fleets turned back toward Sol. They left behind silent systems, scorched battlefields, and a galaxy that finally understood the depth of its mistake. Years passed. The Dominion was no more. The Council rebuilt, humbled and cautious. New records were written, this time in unbreakable terms. The first law remained, now reinforced with the name of Aurealis III carved into its foundation. No one ever questioned it again. On Earth, in a quiet valley beneath silver clouds, a monument stood. A simple pillar engraved with the names of those lost. The boy from Aurealis III, now older, visited it often. He became a historian, teaching new generations what had once been nearly forgotten. He would say to his students, "The law protects not us, but them." Because when humans must remind the galaxy of its promises, the stars themselves tremble. And he was right. But the true story never ended there. A century later, deep within the archives of the Council, a young archivist discovered an old transmission marked restricted. It was dated from the day the Korth Dominion launched its attack. The message originated not from their admirals but from a hidden Council faction. It revealed that the assault had been authorized in secret. They had hoped to test whether humanity's silence meant weakness. The archivist trembled. He reported it to his superiors, but the file vanished hours later. Whispers spread through the bureaucracy that the Council itself had feared humanity's return. One night, the archivist found a small envelope on his desk. Inside was a single sentence written in Terran script. The law is mercy, not threat. There was no signature. He looked out the window toward the stars and realized humanity still watched. Always. Generations continued, and the legend of the first law became the cornerstone of galactic peace. Yet every now and then, new powers would rise, growing bold, questioning the old tales. Humans are myth, they would say. They've gone quiet too long, until a fleet would disappear, or a broadcast would appear in the void, a voice repeating calmly, "Remember the law." Then silence would fall once more. On Sol Prime, hidden deep beneath the oceans, a chamber of glass and light contained the core.